dust in the St. Orange City Library had a specific taste, like stale crackers and forgotten anxieties. I'd been shelving returns in the history annex, a glorified broom closet with delusions of grandeur, for 3 hours straight. My back ached, my eyes felt gritty, and the fluorescent lights hummed a migraine into existence. That's when I found the gap. Pushing a heavy volume on Byzantine tax law onto the shelf, my knuckles scraped against rough brick where smooth metal should have been. A section of the back wall paneling had warped, creating a narrow, shadowed crevice behind the last shelf unit. Curiosity, that old saboteur, poked harder than my aching spine. I wedged my fingers in, felt cool, dry air, and pulled. The panel gave way with a groan of protesting wood and a shower of dust motes dancing in the sickly light. Behind it wasn't a wall, but a shallow cavity, maybe a foot deep. And resting inside, coated in a fine grey fur of undisturbed dust, was a book. Not some ancient, leather-bound grimoire. This looked cheap. A modern, hardbound notebook, the kind you'd buy at a dollar store. Plain black cover, no title. Just there, hidden. I pulled it out. It was lighter than expected. The dust made me cough, the sound unnervingly loud in the silent annex. I wiped the cover clean with my sleeve. Still plain, still black. I flipped it open. English, perfectly ordinary, typed English. No fancy script, no illuminated letters. Just dense, single-spaced paragraphs describing nothing I recognized. Phrases like sympathetic resonance of intent, transubstantiation protocols, and localized reality modulation. It read like a physics textbook, written by a particularly pompous wizard. Utter nonsense. Probably some student's abandoned creative writing project or a prank. A laugh, dry and tired, escaped me. My stomach growled, a sharp counterpoint to the fluorescent hum. Lunch felt like a lifetime ago. I scanned the page I'd opened to. It detailed a minor manifestation protocol. Steps 1 through 7, involving focused will, verbal articulation of desire, and that was it. No Eye of Newt, no chanting under a full moon. Just ask nicely. The absurdity of it, the sheer exhaustion, the grumbling emptiness in my gut. It all collided. I needed a break. I needed sugar. What the hell? Holding the book open, I focused on the words describing intent projection. I pictured it. A simple chocolate bar, yummy whey, peanuts, caramel, the familiar crinkly red wrapper. With a grin born purely of fatigue-induced silliness, I muttered, "All right, book. Hit me. Chocolate bar. Now." I closed my eyes for a second, playing along with the joke. When I opened them, I fully expected to see the same dusty shelf, the same boring brick wall. Instead, resting neatly on top of the open book, was a yummy whey bar. Fresh, shiny red wrapper, peanuts and caramel promised right there on the label. My grin froze, then widened into disbelief. No way, I breathed. Hallucination, dust inhalation. Asbestos. Did old libraries have asbestos? I reached for the bar. My right hand, my pinky finger, wasn't there. I stared. Where my pinky should have been, extending from the knuckle, was just smooth skin, like it had never existed. No blood, no pain, just absence. A perfect, seamless amputation. I wiggled my remaining fingers. They worked fine. I touched the smooth nub where my pinky had been. Cool. Normal skin. Utterly bizarre. Completely impossible. A hysterical bubble of laughter rose in my chest. I let it out, a sharp bark that echoed off the books. "Okay," I chuckled, shaking my head. "Okay, that's vivid. Really vivid. dust and low blood sugar. Got it. I unwrapped the Yummy with my 4-fingered hand. The chocolate tasted real, sweet, reassuringly mundane. The missing finger. Just my brain misfiring. Obviously. I ate the bar, leaning against the shelf unit, the open book resting on my thigh. The word swam slightly. Minor manifestation protocol. Minor. A chocolate bar for a pinky. A fair trade for a hallucination, I supposed. My stomach was happier at least. The absurdity was intoxicating. What else could I ask for? What other impossible, dust-fueled dream could I conjure? Money. That was the universal need. Rent was due. My beat-up Honda sounded like a dying coffee grinder. A briefcase full of cash. That'd solve everything, just like the book said. Focused will, clear articulation. Why not? It was just a game my oxygen-starved brain was playing. I focused. Crisp bills, hundreds, stacks of them. A sleek, black briefcase, heavy with possibility. I licked chocolate from my thumb. Right then, I said, my voice low but clear in the quiet. Briefcase of cash. Let's see it. The air directly in front of me shimmered, not dramatically, like heat haze off pavement. And then, with a soft thump, it was there. A genuine black leather briefcase, sturdy, expensive looking. It landed squarely on the linoleum floor. My breath hitched. Another wave of dizziness, stronger this time. I looked down at my right hand, the one holding the empty Yummy wrapper. My hand, from the wrist down, gone. Just like the pinky. Smooth skin capped my wrist. No bone, no blood, no pain. Just nothing. The Yummy wrapper fluttered to the floor from phantom fingers. The laughter this time was louder, wilder, tinged with something close to panic. Ha ha ha. Wow. Okay. I slapped my thigh with my left hand, my only hand now. That's commitment to the bit, brain. A whole hand, for imaginary cash. I nudged the briefcase with my foot. It felt solid, real. Bravo, really selling it. I knelt awkwardly with only one hand and fumbled with the briefcase latches. They clicked open. Inside, packed tight, were stacks of $100 bills. Neat, crisp, smelling faintly of new paper and ink. More money than I'd ever seen. More money than was plausible for a dusty library hallucination. I sat back on my heels, staring at the open briefcase, then at the smooth stump of my wrist. The laughter died in my throat, replaced by a cold, creeping certainty. This wasn't dust. This wasn't sugar. This book, it was real. And it collected payment in flesh. A different kind of hunger stirred. Not for food, not for money. Loneliness. Years of it. Empty apartments, silent phones, watching couples hold hands in the park. The book could give me anything. It had proven that twice. And what was flesh? What were fingers, a hand compared to her? The dream. The impossible, perfect partner. Beautiful. Kind. Mine. Desperation drowned caution. I didn't care about the cost. Not anymore. I had the cash. I could buy prosthetics. I could live without a hand. But I couldn't live without her. Not anymore. I grabbed the book with my left hand, holding it open. My focus was razor sharp now, fueled by a terrifying hope. I pictured her. Not just beautiful, radiant, warm brown eyes, a smile that felt like sunshine, soft dark hair, a laugh like wind chimes, intelligence, kindness. Her, my wife. Give her to me, I whispered, the words raw with need. Please, my wife, beautiful, kind, mine, now. The air in front of the briefcase rippled, more intensely this time. The fluorescent lights flickered violently. The smell of ozone cut through the dust. And then she was just there. standing beside the briefcase. Perfect, exactly as I'd imagined. Every detail. The warm eyes, the sunshine smile, the dark hair cascading over her shoulders. She wore a simple, elegant dress. She was breathtaking, real, undeniably real. A sound escaped me. Not laughter, not a sob. A pure, ragged cry of triumph. Yes! I staggered to my feet, the book forgotten, tumbling to the floor. You're here. You're real. I took a step towards her, my single hand reaching out, tears blurring my vision. No missing limb this time. No sacrifice. I'd won. I had everything. She looked at me. Her beautiful face was serene, calm, empty. Her warm brown eyes held no recognition, no warmth. They were like polished stones. Then a voice. It didn't come from her. It came from the book lying open on the floor. A voice dry as the dust, cold as the brick wall, echoing not in the room, but directly inside my skull. A body for a body. The words landed like stones. My triumphant grin faltered. My reaching hand froze. A body for a body. The chocolate bar, a finger. The briefcase, a hand. Her perfect, beautiful body. I looked down at myself, whole, intact. One hand gone, but still here, still present, still occupying space. Understanding, cold and absolute, flooded me. The price wasn't paid in my flesh this time. The book hadn't taken a piece of me for her body. It had taken my body, my entire existence. As payment for hers, I was the sacrifice, the vanished limb, the erased entity. I looked at her again, my perfect wife. She blinked, slowly, lifelessly. A beautiful, empty vessel standing beside a briefcase of meaningless cash. I opened my mouth, to scream, to protest, to beg the book to take it back. No sound came out. My vision didn't fade to black. I didn't feel pain. I simply ceased to occupy. One moment I was standing in the history annex of the Orange City Public Library, staring at the horrifying perfection of my purchased bride. Then I disappeared.